Hi, this is Jamie with Coastal Business Supplies. In this video, we are going to do a 4-part series going over the Brother SDX125 ScanNCut right after this. And we're back. So today we're going to do a video on an overview of the new Brother SDX125 ScanNCut. And then on the other videos, we're going to do a standalone on heat transfer paper, vinyl, and then we're going to do a screen capture on the Brother Canvas workspace. So let's get started. So this is the ScanNCut by Brother. It does have a nice 5-inch screen, and it has a tray that comes down, and this is where you do your cutting and your scanning. Also, it has little compartments to hold your very valuable accessories. In here, nice little stylus for the screen, extra blade, a little pouch for all your accessories. This cutter does come with a lot of tools, so be sure to check those out as well. Everything should be up on coastalbusiness.com. So let's get started. So first, we're going to press the power button to turn on. It is nice because it does do a little screen grab, which you can turn off. So it's a little preview of kind of what it can do. So you can turn that off in your settings. And then over here on the left side, you have your USB and your USB cable ports. And on this side, you have your lever 1 and your level 2. So level 1 would be for your thinner materials when you are cutting. So standard easy weed stretch. And then level 2 would be for your thicker items, such as heat transfer paper or glitter flake. So those thicker materials or any item up to 3 millimeters in thickness. So again, it does this little preview here. So you can just press the home button. It's going to take you to the home button. You're gonna press OK for initializing. And then you have your main screen come up. So this, it has pattern, scan, roll feeder, and then region and emboss. So one good feature is that it does come with quite a bit of designs already built in. So you go to patterns for that, and there's a few different categories here. So you'll just go ahead and click on one of them. I'm just gonna click on the first one, which is the shapes. So again, you use your features here on the side where you can go up and down, and you just choose kind of what shape you want. So again, there is a lot of designs there, or of course you can use your own. So you can, go on your online, create your own design, send it to the Brother Canvas workspace, which again, we are going to be going over in another series to this video, and then send it to the cutter to cut. So again, there's a lot of options in there. And then scan, your scan feature, that's when you are doing, you can do like cardstock, heat transfer paper is what we mainly use. So we have our inkjet heat transfer paper here, or you can do the easy subli vinyl. Just send that through. For the mat that you will use for that, you'll use a scan mat. So scan mat picks it up a bit differently than the cutting mat, which is your standard mat. So this is the cutting mat. So this is mainly used for putting heat transfer vinyl on, or you can put your heat transfer paper on to cut it. This is your scanning mat when it goes into the cutter. So basically what you'll do is you just place this on, you'll send it through, it scans it, it pops up a little display, and then it's ready to be cut. So after that, you can go ahead and edit it. So again, that will be in a different series as well. So be looking out for that. And then here you just choose your cutter. It wants you to load your mat. So your mat, it does come through and it comes out this side, to make sure you have enough room in the back for when your mat does come out. And then it'll slide back to this side, and then that image will pop up right there. So that's very cool. The huge thing about this is the standalone features, that it does have the option to just send a standard design through without having to hook it up to a computer. That's just major. So that's one thing we really love about it, is that we don't have to take it from computer design program and send it directly to a cutter. It does add a little bit of an extra step. So it definitely cuts down on the productivity here. So the roll feeder option, we do have a roll feeder for this machine. It does go up to 6 feet long. So that's big, especially when you're doing a lot of cut jobs. You can hook that on and then just keep repeating your jobs up to 6 feet long. So that's a big a big item as well. It is wireless, so when you do connect, you go through your settings to hook it up to your system. It'll ask you a few different features, and if you have help with that, always give our technical support department a call and we can definitely assist and walk you through it. On that front. And another thing would be the blade sensor technology. So again, we're going to go back to where we were talking about scanning. Blade sensor technology is kind of where it all starts. So that's going to pick up your design. So that's located, in the cutter. So it's going to scan all the features. Darker images we have found are best to work with versus your lighter pastel colors. So definitely be careful when choosing your design. You can bump up the color to help it a little bit along the way, but it is best to use kind of a darker design from what we have found using this machine. So that's going to be here. Your blade's going to be here. So for the blade, if you ever do need to change it out, you just take it out. You can slightly move it out, or you can unscrew it. And then there's your spring, there's your blade. Then screw it back in. And then you place it back into the carriage. And then close it back into place. Always make sure that is locked back into place so it can move properly and not mess up any of the utilities of the actual cutter. So here you have your feeder bar. You can unlock it and lock it back in place. Of course, when you're cutting vinyl using your heat transfer paper, sending the mat through with your heat transfer paper, always make sure it is locked in place. But to load, always make sure it's unlocked. What we do is we set the mat, make sure it is set pretty straight in there. Otherwise, it kind of can go askew and kind of move a little bit. So make sure it's straight as possible in there. When you go to feed it, and then lock it into place. And then that's when you hit your scan if you want to do a scan. And then it kind of sends it through to the back again, and then it sends it forward again. And that's when your display will pop up on the screen. And then you can also do a test. So you want to do a test to, test your vinyl or test your heat transfer paper, make sure it's going to be, the right cut. You don't obviously want to send a job twice. So to do that, there is the auto detect for the blade so that it'll sense it. So it'll go down and it'll sense the thickness of the material and it will adjust as needed. So you do have your test cut here that you can select. And then for that, this is kind of a little bit of the on-screen editing here. But for that, you can choose your cut speed if it's not, right, your pressure. Sometimes that will still need to be adjusted. Right here it says manual blade, so if you want to take that off. The cut amount, the half cut. So the half cut's very important, especially when doing heat transfer vinyl. You want to make sure that half cut is normally on. That way you don't cut into the mat, because if it's not on, sometimes it can cut deeper and actually hurt your mat. So you might have to end up buying a new mat. So be careful with the half cut. We always have it on, especially when doing heat transfer paper or heat transfer vinyl from our testing. So again, that's very important, but you can adjust a lot of features still in this machine. So even though there's a lot of auto features, you can still do a lot of editing inside the machine yourself if you don't like the performance of how the auto blade works or the sensor technology works. So that's gonna be here as well. Let's just get out of that. And then retrieving your data. So that's when you can retrieve it from your computer wirelessly or via USB. That's from the Brother Canvas workspace that we will be going over in another series to this video. So stay tuned on that. And that's all for today. So again, this is a 4-part series that we have for you. Our next series is going to be actually cutting the material, and then we're going to be working on going over the Brother Canvas workspace. So definitely stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you for watching our video tutorial. We'll see you in the next series.